Hi there, it's Podzoid Binsky again about schizophrenia and related issues. Okay, so I studied my videos and watched myself, and I learned too, you know. And I studied medical journals further and about these conditions, these tardive movement disorders caused by antipsychotic drugs that are so obscure or kept secret I can't determine which. But practitioners, psychiatrists, and nurse practitioners, psych practitioners don't know this until you point it out to them, and they can't dispute the medical journals speak for themselves. Okay, that's why they're not disputing any of this. So, so anyway, she changed me. The bottle of 60 is 12 milligram tablets. I take two twice a day for the maximum dose of the immediate release of Stedo now instead of the XR time release. So that straightened me up some of the problems I was having, like some of the tremoring has stopped some of the time. It depends on the time of day. In my day, it is. I guess I don't know. Fluctuates, but it's pretty steady. But the sensation of tremoring, not tremoring in my arms. I mean, but the sensation of tremoring in my lower arms is gone. So I'm happier about that, and it's helped some of the problems. But so that's the current treatment regime for the tardive dyskinesia and the tardive dystonia. Responding to it, I feel it should be diagnosed by my psychiatric practitioner and not my primary who treats scoliosis because it's antipsychotic drug induced, and the psychiatric practitioner has spine scans. So we've got to talk about that with my primary and see who's going to do what there and the physical therapy yet. But so I found a paper. I read it, sent my psych nurse practitioner an email, a paper, a link to a paper, or a medical journal. I don't know which one it was, but neuroscience or something. I don't know, but it shows that this tardive dystonia I might be a more prime suspect for it than the next person because of the particular medications I was put on 30 years ago. The one, risperidone, and then adding Abilify, whatever, I can't, Priprazole or whatever, I can't pronounce the generics, but adding that to it 10 years later, or about 10 years, 9 or 10 years later, by another psychiatrist, improved my cognitive function because I read in a previous paper, Characteristics of Novel Antipsychotics, that Risperdal causes a suppression in verbal fluency. So the Abilify brought it back. Okay, it's just how the chemistry works in the brain. I was studying and suggested to the psychiatrist, and we tried it, and she liked it, so she upped it from the minimum dose to the next dose. And that's where I stayed for it all these years, 15, 20 years now since then. But so it said that combination of drugs causes this tardive dystonia and the scoliosis at a faster rate than other antipsychotics, with a prior history of massive first generation neuroleptic typical antipsychotics. So I fit that profile exactly. So is that malpractice? No, the practitioners don't know. Why don't they know? Is it a cover up? I don't know what the hell's going on here, but it's not right. People have a right to know that antipsychotic drugs are dangerous, and they should look from the ground up to invent different ones that don't cause these disorders. They're horrible disorders. It's crazy. It's ludicrous in this country. They don't even try to make better medications. They've learned about this in 1983. I researched. Okay, so what else do I have to say? Well, that's about the update for now on what's going on with the tardive dystonia responding to the tardive dyskinesia drug. So I was able to walk again then and get my exercise in. I got muscles bulging off my body I never knew I had, and but yet tried to walk up the hill out front, and I got to the top. I should have got on my knees and hands, but I turned around and fell backward. That fell on right on my tailbone, but I didn't hurt it. It's not hurt. I didn't hurt myself seriously, but so I can't walk that hill anymore because I should know this by now. Because when I was younger, 40 years ago, when I moved in here, there were people more my age that 2 of them broke bones on those hills. This hill out here. I learned a lesson a hard way again, not to ever walk the hill again, up or down. My friend reminded me last time I walked down and I fell too. I have a bad memory by nature, but always did, but not a good memory. Not a bad memory, but not a good one of details. But that's peculiar to schizophrenia too, and not Alzheimer's dementia. They want to shove that down everybody's throat. So, anyways, that's 5 minutes now. What's going on? So, I'm making progress, and my doctors are involved. My practitioners and specialists will be involved, and I've got a portal to primary now that I've emailed the nurse practitioner yesterday. Uh, well, thank you then for your interest in this, and peace and love to everybody. Uh, if you think you have tardive dyskinesia or damage from antipsychotics, don't stop taking your antipsychotics. They cover up the damage. Talk to your doctor first who writes your antipsychotics. They can assess you for these disorders too by watching you, observing you. In a brief time, they can tell, I imagine, from what I understand. So, good luck with everything. And doctors, be aware of this. This is crazy. To end up with this, it's not malpractice. It's physical injury, personal injury, or whatever. It's not malpractice because nobody knew. It's personal injury because it's a fact that I'm a candidate. A prime example of this shit is bullshit. Yeah, I'm pissed off, but I'm medicated not to be pissed off. So I don't get pissed off. I rarely do. Very, very rarely do, like the other night. I was trying to do something on the computer and it wouldn't work, and somebody was here and I had a fit. But I'm only human, though. I'm only human, not perfect, Nobody is. Nobody is perfect. You're a perfectionist. Shove it. Thank you for listening. Otherwise, people with open minds I can appreciate this, and doctor types, I guess. I hope it helps people understand schizophrenia and how the treatment can work against you over a lifetime of treatment with these current drugs. They need newer ones from the ground up. I'm calling for peace and love. See you later.